What is this you're looking at? This is not cheese. It kind of looks like cheese. It's actually tofu, homemade tofu, and I put scallions in it because I have scallions all over my garden now. When you make your own homemade tofu, you can flavor it any way you like. You can add sun-dried tomatoes, tomato paste, nutritional yeast, green garlic, chives, whatever your heart feels like. Or you can just leave it plain. Homemade tofu is so easy to make, and I'm going to show you how. And if you make your own soy milk, you're going to end up with a lot of okara, which is the pulp. And from that pulp, I am stuffing my face with these delicious vegan crab cakes. So good. All right, so to make real tofu, we just need a couple of ingredients. It's simply soy milk and a coagulant. So first of all, the soy milk that you use is really important. A lot of those store-bought stuff has all sorts of stuff in it. Sometimes there's oil, there's gums, there's fillers. So you want to look for a soy milk that simply has soybeans and water. Now, I have been making my own soy milk for a while using a little machine called a Miomat. There's different varieties. But if you watch the episode that I did on making your own soy milk, one of the key rules that you might have learned is that in order to get that neutral flavor of soy milk without that beany flavor, you cannot soak the beans. And many plant milk makers require that you soak the soybeans. So you want to look for one where you can add the raw beans and it will do the cooking for you. There are some brands that you can put dry beans directly into it. It'll cook the whole process, and the only fussy thing is that you have to at least filter out the pulp, which is this, okara or okara. And this is the pulp, the high protein, but it's also high in fiber. This is the fiber of the soybean that's left over from making the soy milk. And this is what we're going to use to make our FAB cakes, vegan crab cakes. So that's the bonus recipe at the end of the tofu episode. So you want a rich soy milk. The soy milks that you buy at the store that usually only have soy milk or soybeans and water are typically the right concentration. Otherwise, follow my recipe to make sure that you've got enough soybeans in it for your tofu, your soy milk to coagulate into tofu. Now, what is a coagulant? It's something that's going to create a reaction to bind the proteins and make those lumps that will separate from the whey to make tofu. And traditionally, the very first traditional ingredient that was used to make tofu was called nigari, which is magnesium chloride. Basically, it is a mineral that comes from the sea. I'm kind of guessing that thousands of years ago, some seawater got mixed in with some tofu, with some soy milk, and they noticed a coagulating impact, and that's probably how tofu was discovered. I don't know. But there's another mineral that also works, and that is called calcium sulfate, and that is right here. It's also known as gypsum. So either one of these will work, and the more you add of either, the firmer your tofu will be. Today we're going to use a magnesium chloride, but you can use calcium sulfate as well. All right, so we're going to take my quart of soy milk over to the stove. So I'm going to say something that could be extremely sacrilegious for a traditional tofu maker, but the beauty of making your own tofu is that you can actually flavor it while it's cooking. So for example, if you wanted to make a cheesier tofu, you could stir in some nutritional yeast, or you could do sort of a Spanish style by stirring a little bit of tapenade. I have a little bit left over here. You could do a basil sun-dried tomato one by chopping up some sun-dried tomatoes and some basil leaves and stirring it in there. So you don't just have to have plain tofu. You could have flavored tofu as well. So just go crazy. You could do a taco flavored one. You could do a vegan chorizo. You could stir all kinds of things into your tofu and get something that's got a totally different flavor profile. I'm putting in my soy milk, and we want to bring this to a simmer before we add the magnesium chloride. But I want to stir this. I don't want it to just sit there and form a skin. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon Now, if you use calcium sulfate, of course, you're going to get a higher calcium tofu. So if you're interested in getting calcium, then calcium sulfate would be the mineral to add to coagulate this. Oh, I can already see a tiny bit of separation. Going to add a little bit more. The more you add, the firmer the tofu is going to be. Okay, look at this. Now it's boiling. And you can see the separation of curds from the whey. It's no longer smooth. All right, so you want to cook this until the curds have separated from the whey. The whey is no longer yellow. Just takes a few minutes. It's pretty instant. It's pretty fun. Look at that. You see how it's mostly curds separated from the whey now. Look at that. So you can make tofu different softnesses or hardnesses depending on how long you drain them, how long you press them. You don't need a tofu press. You can just use a sieve. Now, I found some scallions in the refrigerator from the garden. I'm going to put some of that in there to flavor the tofu. My mother would never forgive me, nor would a traditional Japanese soy milk maker. That's ready now. We are going to drain this. So I've got some cheesecloth here. I'm going to put it right in there because then I can get a really beautiful circular, I guess it wouldn't be a block of tofu. I'm going to pour that in here. Oh, look at those curds. Can you see that? Now, if you don't have a cheese mold, a lot of people don't, you can just use a sieve lined with cheesecloth set over a bowl. As this drains, it's going to get firmer and firmer, and it's going to turn into a block. I'm just going to take out some of this whey. Look at all this yellow whey. All right, so just check this out. The tofu is draining. Oh my God, look at that. And you can make this firmer by pressing it. That's what those tofu presses are, you know, so you can press it, but you don't really need to. You can just let it drain and it'll coagulate together, or you can just lightly press it. You can put a weight on it of some sort. The more you press, the more water is extracted and the firmer your tofu is going to be. Now, in America, most tofu that's sold happens to be fairly firm. In Japan, the tofu is medium or even much softer, more delicate. And I actually prefer that, but you know, it's up to you how firm you want your tofu. So just let it drain and we'll take it out in a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to make the fab cakes with the residual okara. I'm actually making from the Homemade Vegan Pantry the San Francisco FAB Cakes with capers. We're going to use tofu in it, but I'm not going to use a tofu that I made. I just have just some regular store-bought tofu. I need 2 cups of okara. I'm going to add about 6 ounces of tofu, and I'm just going to squeeze it so it's all sort of mashed up. We're just going to mix everything together. Now, I'm not following my recipe exactly. I'm taking liberty of not adding shallots that I am sauteing because I don't have any shallots. I do, however, have some leeks that are from the garden. So I'm just going to chop this up and I am not going to saute it. Now, the recipe also calls for red bell pepper. And the purpose of that really is to add more color, a little bit of sweetness. I'm just going to forego it. I have some parsley, 2 different kinds. I've got flat leaf and regular parsley, also from the garden. To this mixture, I'm going to add about a half a cup of mayo. I usually make my own mayo, but this company sent me some of their mayo. Fabulous. And they have all of these wonderful flavors, not just mayo. They've got chipotle spread. They've got all kinds of stuff. What crab cakes don't have Old Bay seasoning? I used to live I went to school in Maryland near the Chesapeake Bay, and of course they have all these crab fests and everything, and that's where I first learned about Old Bay. And so I thought, okay, how do I veganize this recipe? So I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, about a tablespoon of mustard. Finally, I'm going to add some capers. Now these are Italian capers that have been packed in salt, not brine, so they're very, very salty. It's best to rinse and then soak them to get rid of the salt, but I can also use this as the salt replacement. So I'm just going to rinse them first and then add them to this mixture, and that will provide the saltiness that I think I need. Okay, I've rinsed my capers. throwing them in there. If you have capers in brine, you do not need to rinse. Now, what does the okara do? It provides sort of that flaky consistency that we might be looking for in a vegan crab cake. And if you've made your soy milk to make your tofu, you're going to have all this okara. You're going to have to figure out, what do I do with it? So this is one thing you can do with it. So I'm getting enough salt, I think, just from the capers. It may not be enough for you. You may want to add a little bit more salt. It's up to you. And a little bit more Old Bay. All right, now I'm going to add some breadcrumbs to this. I have some panko here. I recommend some soft breadcrumbs if you have some on hand. That will absorb the moisture as well. By the way, this is gluten-free panko. So you're going to want 3 pieces of nori, and this is what gives it that seafoody flavor. Oh my God. And you're getting your sea vegetables too, which is really good because sea veggies are so good for you. Seaweed is so good for you, full of iodine and calcium, magnesium, all kinds of minerals. And that's going to kind of soften up, and it's going to kind of disappear and melt into this. So you're not going to be getting that crunch. Right now I'm sort of crunching my nori to break it up, but you will not get that once I cook these. All right, I'm going to form these. I'm using an ice cream scooper. You can use different sizes. If you use an ice cream scooper and then you use the panko, the breadcrumbs, to kind of smash them, you can keep your hands fairly clean. And I have the famous olive oil from our olive grove that I'm going to use. So I'm letting my pan heat up. I'm going to put some olive oil in it, and then we're going to fry these babies up. Alrighty, my crab cakes are done. I'm going to make a little sauce. I have some of that leftover mayo. You can use any kind of topping you like, but I'm going to do a little smoky wasabi thing, putting some wasabi in there. And I'm going to add a little bit of that smoked paprika that I got in Hungary. Stir it all up. Top one of those. And now, before I take a bite of that, let's do the unveiling of the tofu. So, as you remember, I only pressed it with my hands very lightly a couple of times and just let it drain. It's been about 30, 40 minutes, and there's even more whey than what we got initially. So now I'm going to delicately unmold my tofu and flip it out. And there is my block of scallion tofu. Now, as this refrigerates, it'll firm up a little bit more. But who says that tofu has to be in a block? You can make it any shape you like. And as you can see, I can pick it up like that. It's still warm though. I'm going to let it just continue to sit. So this is how the Japanese do it. I'm going to get a little bite. Oh, look at that. Look at my tofu. Homemade tofu with a little bit of scallion. I'm going to put a little soy sauce on it. It's how the Japanese eat tofu. It's called hiyayakko. You just have cold tofu with a little soy sauce and often scallion. So that's exactly what I'm having right here. Nothing like fresh tofu. That's delicious. All right. That's yummy. Remember, you can make this plain, which is the way you would do it traditionally. You can add different flavors. We did scallions today because I had some in the garden. Hey, go crazy. All right, now let me try the crab cake. That's delicious. Wow, you get that subtle seafood flavor from the nori. It's got a flaky texture. It's delicious. Wow. There are so many things you can make at home and take control of the food system. So, see you again next time, guys. So good. So good. Oh boy. Here's Madeline. She's going to try to bust in here. Hi, Madeline. You want some fava? Oh, that's so yummy. Oh, that is so good. I know you're always trying to bust in the house. One time I came home really late at night and Caroline, the sanctuary director, couldn't find Madeline. And I said, I bet she's in the house. And I opened the door and I said, Madeline, and I heard, bah. And she would, whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. You cannot come in because you make a mess. And there she was, just sitting all curled up on a chair, ready to go to bed. Okay, here, you can have that too. Oh, that's not good enough for you? Well, then that's, whoop, whoop. Sorry, too late, too late. Okay.